Hey guys, we said we're going to focus on making money in Germany, investing in Germany, investing on your own account in Germany, and making a very good living in Germany, having a side job in Germany where you can be working and your money is also working for you. But hey, guess what? So many people reach out to us and they complain of not having permanent resident permit. They've been having difficulty. So we really want to talk about that. We want to emphasize on that because there are some things lacking. We cannot move forward when some people are also behind. Today's video, we're going to talk about all the criteria of the permanent resident permits. We're also going to show you today all the documents needed for you to apply for a permanent resident permit. In that way, you will not have to go and see a lawyer. Documents are not so difficult to acquire. You can have these documents, and we're also going to find out if you're eligible to apply for a permanent resident permit. So let's move. But please, before we start the video, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, put on your notification bell on so that each time we post a video, YouTube gonna notify you. Thank you very much. So let's come back to our topic. How can you have a permanent resident permit in Germany? First thing is, we have to know the difference between a temporary resident permit and a permanent resident permit. Temporary resident permit, just as it sounds, is just a temporary card which the government issues to you. So this document allow you to stay for a short period of time in Germany. Why the permanent resident permit? The most common difference of the temporary resident permit and the permanent resident permit is that the temporary resident permit is for a short stay. They can issue you the temporary resident permit knowing that you will go back to your home country maybe in 2 years or in 1 year. Why the permanent resident permit allows you to stay for as long as you want in Germany. So you can say, this is now my home, staying in Germany for a very long time. And with permanent resident permit, you can as well apply for some loans, because since they know that you're living in Germany, they can grant you some loans. With temporary resident permit, not all loans that are you can be granted, because they believe that you can go back to your country. And with permanent resident permit, you cannot stay out in Germany for a very long time. Permanent as well is the same. You cannot stay for a very long time. But who does that? Who stays in Germany, out of Germany for a very long time? You have to come back, because the letters which they will send to you will prompt you to come back, and very fast. Now, are you eligible to apply for a permanent resident permit? First, before talking about eligibility, we have to know the category where you stand. Okay, are you an asylum seeker? Okay, for an asylum seeker, you require at least 5 years of legally staying in Germany. Which these 5 years, when I say legally, I don't mean that when you seek asylum, you spend 5 years. Even if you spend 5 years without having the card, the temporary resident permit, you will still spend that 5 years. If you are already in Germany and you do not have a temporary resident permit, be rest assured that you're still going to spend like 5 years before you obtain a permanent resident permit. If you are married, of course, after 3 years, you are eligible to apply for a passport direct, okay? A permanent resident permit and a passport direct. So then if you are a student, after 3 years of your studies, you have to get a job of the field which you studied, and after that, you have to apply for a permanent resident permit. So you see, you have to fall under these categories to know where you belong. And also for asylum, if your asylum have been accepted, and you have integrated very well in the system, you spend only 3 years to get a permanent resident permit. Also, even if you have a humanitarian protection and you are very well integrated in the system, when I mean very well integrated, means you have the level of C1 of the German language, you are also eligible to apply for a permanent resident permit. But to be honest, most cases you do not apply before 5 years, because the documents which I'm going to show you now, some of the documents you cannot get them before 5 years. So which are the documents do we need for our permanent resident permit? Hey guys, many times people go to lawyers because they do not know the documents which they need. I'm going to save you 600 euros right now so that you see the documents which they need before any other document. This is the document which they need from you before you apply for a permanent resident permit. Hey, if you do not know the documents, or if you doubt, just write a letter to your Ausländer Behörde, that's your immigration center. Write them a letter. If you know you're already eligible, write them a letter and require for the documents which you need for your permanent resident permit, and you will see that they are no different from the document which I'm going to show you now. First thing, we want to make sure that you haven't committed a very serious crime within the territory in Germany or even in Europe. A very serious crime like fighting, stealing, all this kind of crime which you are very conscious of it. If you have a very serious crime, or you stole something and it's already, everybody know themselves in this Germany, okay? If you know, you must have, if the police have been sending you message, all those kind of stuff, then, and you know what you're conscious of what you have done, you already know that you might not have a chance. Then you have to get a lawyer. But if you are free from crime, all this, but have this petty crime, you're free from crime, okay, then you know you can apply for a permanent resident permit. So what are the documents we need? We need this is a temporary resident permit. First, this is a temporary resident permit which we need first. Without this, you do not have a permanent resident permit. So you have been living with this paper, with this card, this temporary resident permit. You have been living with this card for at least 5 years, okay? First, this is it. Let's make sure that you have lived with this document for at least 5 years, okay? Let's also make sure that you have a medical card. A medical card is very important. It shows that you are working, okay? And also, this is just a supporting document. Actually, it's not needed. If you're already working, they know that you're paying for it. But sometimes you just send it. It's just called supporting document. This, sorry for the breeze, there's breeze. Sorry, there's breeze. So with this one is your work contract. Yeah, with this is your work contract. You need this document to apply for a permanent resident permit, because this is a contract for your job. When you look for a job in Germany, they give you work contract, maybe permanent work contract or a temporary work contract, but you have to need this, okay? At least make sure that your work contract is still valid for at least 6 months. So when you have this one plus a temporary resident permit, 2, when you are working in Germany, when you get a job in Germany, they sign you a contract. So the contract, they'll issue you some papers. I'm just showing you one of the paper, okay, where the most important part where they say work contract. They call it in German Arbeitsvertrag. So after having that one, you have to have what they call Wohnmiete. You have to have this Wohnmiete. This is also very important, your house contract, okay? You have to have Wohnmiete and Meldebestanigung. So your house contract and this is your house contract. Sorry for the breeze, okay? So you must have this. When you get a house in Germany, they give you a house contract and also what they call Meldebestanigung, the document that allows you to register your house. So they will give you 2 documents. These 2 documents you need: house contract and Meldebestanigung. The 2 documents you need. So you get it when you get an apartment. If you have an apartment, they give you the 2 documents. Immediately you sign your contract for house. So this, then you have to also have this document. They call this document Lohnabrechnung. This document, they call it Lohnabrechnung, okay? It's the slip from your payment. If you are working, they will pay you and they send you this document. In every company you're working in Germany, every month they send you a document, a paper, which shows your salary and your tax and how it has been calculated. They call it in German Lohnabrechnung, okay? So this Lohnabrechnung is a slip which they send to you every month to your house address if you are working in a company. It shows how they have calculated your money. They pay tax, they pay how much is your brutto and how much is your netto, and how much they have paid tax and what is remaining and what they send to you into your bank account. You have to have this document for the past 3 months. You must bring 3 copies of this document. Let's say now we are in June, okay? You bring March, April, and May of this document. You must. The 3 Three copies of this payment are required for you. So this document, they have to see how much you get paid every month. In this document, they will see how much you get paid every month. Okay. After this document, there's also another supporting document. Your boss at work has to tell the immigration that you are still working with him. They need that for at least between the time you're applying and 7 days. They need it. Then they also need criminal record, which you can get from the police. But now in Germany, they don't need you to go and get criminal record. Okay, so when you apply already, they just ask the police. The immigration is also the police, so they will just contact the police and ask them what your criminal record is before they do that. So you don't even need to go and get a criminal record. So these are the most important documents which I'm showing you. We also have language course. We have two language courses. Okay, we have the first one is B1 certificate of the European framework. B1 certificate of the German European framework, which means that the certificate must be registered. Okay, registered under the European framework means you must either get it from a um, well-renowned school. It means that you must have written a well-renowned exams like TEC or GOITEC. If you have any other exam other than TEC or GOITEC, TEC, TELC or GOITEC, then your certificate will not be valid. You must have TEC or GOITEC. So if you have the B1, they'll also ask you to write this exam. They call it in German, they call it Leben in Deutschland. If I translate Leben in Deutschland in English, it means living in Deutschland, living in Germany. So this certificate must also be accompanied with the B1 certificate. So this one and the B1 certificate, you have to also send to them. So let's do a recap of the documents needed for your permanent resident permit. Listen again very clearly. Okay, we have your 5 years temporary resident permit. A supporting document is not a necessary, it's not a must. Your hospital card is not a must, but the resident permit is a must. Your Arbeitsvertrag is just one document I'm presenting, but there are more. Arbeitsvertrag is a list of documents. So I'm giving this one is the most important. It's stated on the front Arbeitsvertrag, which means work contract. Okay. The breeze here is too much. Your B1 exam. Your B1 exam and a Leben in Deutschland. That's living in Deutschland. The exams are two. The B1 exam is a little bit difficult than the Leben in Deutschland. Leben in Deutschland is just a multiple choice exam. It's not like it's difficult. It's not difficult. So this one attached to your B1 exam. Okay, you add it together. That's B1 exam. When they say B1 exam, don't think it's just B1. You must also have Leben in Deutschland. A biometric photo that has been taken within the period of 6 months. An application form. This application form can be found anywhere. It can also be downloaded from the internet. But maybe if you write them, they can send it to you, but it's free. It can be downloaded from the internet. Fill the application form. Valid passport from your home country. And an application fee, which costs around, I think, 99 euros. 99 euros for adults, or yeah. So you can just check the application fee amount, and yeah. Last but not the least, one very important certificate, which is the key, okay, is the key of anyone living in Germany. Without this document, I am sorry, you can never have the resident permit if you are issued the humanitarian protection or asylum. This is what they call Renteversicherung. This one. I don't know. I'm just gonna send you to this. This is a document. It's called Renteversicherung. Okay, this is a document. It's called Renteversicherung. This document, to get this document, you must have been working and paying taxes in Germany for at least social security in Germany for at least 5 years. If you have worked in Germany and paid taxes for at least not taxes, but your social security, social insurance, social security for at least 5 years, then you are eligible for this. Because if you have not reached 5 years, but to get this document, you have to call. If you know, everybody know themselves. If you know you have worked in the country, and even if you have received money, free money, there are two types of money, okay, which we can either receive. We have the social money. Social money doesn't count with this. If you have received social money, it doesn't count. So please, I want you to understand. If you have received any money from social, that 300 or 400 euro they used to get, it doesn't count on this document. But if you have received money from Arbeitsagentur, then it counts on this document. Even if you have received money 6 months, even if they have, if you do the integration cost, they'll be paying you. If Arbeitsagentur pays you, then it counts. So I know some people who have worked only 3 years, but they got their 5 years. Why? Because when they were doing integration costs, they were Arbeitsagentur was paying them, and then they finished before they got their job. And some also do house building and all these things. Before they got the job, they just work 3 years and they completed their 5 years of paying their social security here in Germany. And after that, you are eligible to apply for a permanent resident permit. If you have all these documents, no need to go see a lawyer again. You are already eligible. Just make an appointment and go to the, if you make an appointment, sometimes you go online, you do the appointment. It depends on the state. You do the appointment, you bring all these documents which I just explained. If you have not understood, you can go back and watch the video or make a pause and listen very well. You bring all these documents with you and apply for your permanent resident permit. They might ask you supporting documents, okay? These supporting documents are very few, just like this card, your hospital card, your letter from your boss, okay? Maybe Schufa, I don't know, they don't ask Schufa, but if you have any documents which you believe that are very important. Some people even include driving license, just add their driving license and everything, just give to them to show that they are worthy, you know. So after that, they issue you can already apply for your permanent resident permit. House contract, we state how many years your house contract, your apartment contract, the contract from your contract from your landlord, okay? And also a Meldebestanigung, it comes too. If your landlord issues this one, you also ask for a registered address certificate, okay? So you attach this house or apartment contract to the registered address certificate, which is called Meldebestanigung. Attach it to this document with your house contract address. You give to them. 3 months pay slip from your work. Social contribution for at least 5 years in Germany, living in Germany. Mind you, your permanent resident permit in Germany loses its validity if you spend more than 6 months out of Germany. So that's all. These are the most important documents you need to apply for a permanent resident permit. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.